Did you know, boys and girls? A story has several elements that give it structure and meaning. For example, there's the setting, which defines where the story takes place. There's also the protagonist of the story, who is the main character that the story is about, and the conflict, which is the main problem or obstacle that the protagonist must overcome. The conflict typically comes about as a vehicle for the antagonist, sometimes called the villain or bad guy, that the protagonist must defeat in order to obtain happiness. Other times, the conflict is a theme or idea rather than a person, such as man's inhumanity to man, or man versus society. Sometimes, boys and girls, a story is difficult to tell because the underlying idea or moral of the story is hidden behind many layers of meaning or symbolism and is really hard to analyze or make sense of. Sometimes this wall of symbolism hides the fact that there really is no significant idea or functional narrative in a story, and it is a result of the author pulling a mean joke on the audience. Some people may call this abstract or avant-garde, which is a fancy way of saying, I don't know what this person is trying to say, but I think it sounds cool. So you see, boys and girls, it's difficult for me to tell you this tale of Cloud Monster's inhumanity towards a little girl, because I don't really get the point of it myself. I know it sounds like an excuse, considering that this is supposed to be story time with the voice of Dog, and I really brought it on myself by making this thread. But I've put this story off far too long, and I want to move on to other, better stories. Stories that have discernible conflicts. And maybe, if you're really lucky, I can give you a story on a regular basis, so I can possibly finish a single Let's Play in a time span shorter than 18 months. Because if there's one thing that I can't stand, it's being stuck on a project for long periods of time where you have no idea how to progress, and you don't want to disappoint your audience because they made it perfectly clear that they like what you're doing and want to see more of it. Fuck! The end.